Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Captain America the Winter Soldier Funko Pop figures. Here's a quick look at the back of them, and then we'll start off with taking a look at the Captain figure. Now, if you've seen any of my Marvel or Star Wars pop reviews, you know that I hate bobbleheads. But luckily, if you get his head to calm down and he's just standing on the shelf next to everything else, he looks just like a regular pop. So, let's take a closer look at his outfit, because his new uniform, his Super Soldier Shield outfit, has a lot of cool details on it that they have carried over into the sculpt of this figure. There's a lot of little groove lines and little like separated texture areas, and you could see that they painted the dark kind of blue grooves really well. All the sort of like grayish white star and lines all look good. If you look at just the grooves on his boots, the paint on everything, it's a pretty good paint job. This is one of my favorite new Funko Pops of 2014 as far as detail within it goes. And you know, if you take a look at his helmet too, they have a lot of cool little textures going along the eyepiece and along the side of the head. There you go. Well, that's better. And I really like the way they've included all these sort of grooved textures. I think they did a really great job with this. This is a pretty good figure. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Even the chin strap looks good. I was pretty bummed that there was no Black Widow pop in the Avengers line, so I'm really happy they finally got around to her in the Captain America 2 line. Now, let's take a closer look at her outfit, because there's a lot of good little details in here, kind of like the Captain figure. There's a lot of sculpted grooves and straps that go across her leg, and in her boot area. There's a lot of detail like on her little belt, and even just like the holsters that are painted on the side of her hips. Even going along her back. It seems to me that this series there's going to be a lot of textured sculpting going on. And I like what they did with the gray and the black and the painting on the boots, the painting on her gauntlets. I think the paint on this is pretty clean. Even that little red widow symbol in the middle, this all turned out pretty good. She's got really clean hands for the most part. As far as the fingertips coming through, I really like what they did with this figure. Now, if you take a look at her head, just take some time. This is my recommendation. It's all basically one red plastic piece, so some faces, you know, aren't painted all the way, so I'd recommend you take your time looking for a good face paint on this figure. The one that I got is pretty good. I like the eyes and the eyebrow work, and the hairline is pretty simple, but they did a really good job sculpting in the grooves. Now, one of the things I don't like about bobbleheads is the spring inside can sometimes be put in a weird position that causes the head to be askew. His head should be here, nice and center, and instead it pops all the way over to the side. And I really wish Funko would stop doing bobbleheads for this very reason, because it compromises like the integrity of what the figure should be. Maybe one day they'll stop, but for right now they seem to keep going with bobbleheads for Marvel and Star Wars. But let's focus on the positive. Look at all the details on this chest area. Just all these straps that go across, and then the little other gray straps that go over them. You know, I thought the Big Lebowski and Thor pops last year were really great, and so far the Captain America line is starting to give them a run for its money. Even this in the back here, there's a lot of really great little paint work. I'm really happy when Funko brings their A game. They really can nail it. I like the red star and the bionic arm he's got here. Even the little rivets on his knuckles. This is all really solid work. And his little mask looks good. Every figure I saw had weird, you know, skin to hairline paint. This was the best one I saw. But keep an eye out for that. There are some pretty bad ones out there. Take your time. But yeah, dig this one. And now here's a look at the Winter Soldier with the full mask with the eye goggles on. Now say what you want about his appearance in the movie, but as a toy, I prefer this face. I think it's just cooler looking. There's more like fun things to look at and doesn't have the usual Funko Pop black dot eyes. And I just think this is really cool. The rest of his outfit is not nearly as well painted as the other one I just showed you. The gray across the strap is a little off the strap. We've got some random skin paint caught in his knee pads. This hand gets a little rough right around here, but overall though, it's still a really cool looking figure. The sculpting is still outstanding. It's just you're pretty much paying for a different mask. You can pick which one you want, or you can be a super gooby completist like me and buy both. Before the Avengers came out, the only Funko Pops we got from Marvel movies were 2 from the first Thor. But since Avengers, we've had a full Iron Man 3 line, a full Thor 2 line, and now we've got this full Captain America 2 line and Guardians of the Galaxy to look forward to. And I really like how these figures turned out. In particular, I like how this Winter Soldier turned out because his head is on center. But I think Captain America looks really good. I'm really happy that we got a Black Widow. And I'm really glad that Funko did such a great job with these. The sculpting and the paint really is great. Some really great detail here. Thanks for watching.